Friends, welcome to the channel, my name is Hako. In this video, I'm gonna condense my knowledge of Orphie and give it to you in like a TLDR, no bullshit kind of way, so let's get to it. Now, Orphie is a sub-DPS, a buffer, an aftershock agent, and an off-field agent that mostly plays herself in a similar manner to Trigger and Yufufu. And honestly, the less time you have to spend on Orphie, the better for your overall scores. Now, the core principle about Orphie's combat is get enough bottled heat, which is her own special resource you can see underneath the portrait. Once you have 100, you can hold the EX special attack button and shoot a laser and give a team-wide buff. Bottled heat stacks up at 125, so like there's a little room for stockpiling for the next laser. Whenever the laser, which is called heat charge, hits an enemy, your entire team will get up to 700 attack, scaling with Orphie's energy regen. And through her additional ability, any squad member benefiting of this buff will also penetrate defenses by 25% with their aftershock attacks. So Orphie is very much meant for like aftershock teams. If you have Orphie on the team and you attack the enemy with an active character that's not Orphie, she will follow up with a special attack Corrosive Flash. This can happen once every 5 seconds and it returns 20 bottled heat. When Orphie has 60 energy or more, she will also cast EX special attack Crimson Vortex, which also restores 20 bottled heat. And now she also has one called Watch Your Step, which is if we manually use up her energy when we're controlling her. If we take a little bit of a look at the modifiers, we can see that Watch Your Step, which is us manually using the energy, has a modifier of 452. Meanwhile, the one she does herself, Crimson Vortex, has a modifier of 1357. So if you want to do a third of the damage, use the energy yourself, or just let Orphie do it, which is what you should do. If you were hoping that Orphie would be like your on-field main DPS and have most of the field time, that is simply not how she was built. Her chain attack also restores 20 bottled heat, and so does her ultimate. Her ultimate, Dance with Fire, will also trigger a quick assist to the next character in line, and if we take the quick assist, we extend the ultimate and we extend the damage in a similar fashion to Bernice. So Orphie is super simple. Allow her to build up her own bottled heat and then hold the EX special attack button, shoot a laser on the enemy and give a team-wide buff. Now the buff is called the Zeroed In state, and it lasts base kit for 12 seconds but can be extended up to 20 seconds extra, so 32 seconds total, if the agents benefiting off the buff has aftershock attacks, because every aftershock attack will add on 4 seconds, up to 20. And the buff is counted separately for each character, so Trigger, for example, she will just automatically have this happen. On Soldier and Ambi, we need to make sure that we actually do the aftershocks. On, say, Evelyn, we cannot extend this past 12 seconds no matter what, because Evelyn herself does not have any aftershock. The core passive also gives Orphie 25% crit rate and an 85% increase in aftershock damage, and almost all of Orphie's stuff is aftershock damage. And you cap out her buff at 700 attack if you reach 3.7 energy regen, which is possible with her own signature engine, otherwise you're looking at a drop of losing around 180 attack on her buff. Not the end of the world, but also factor in that she is meant to be running in an aftershock team where every member does a lot of damage, so it's really 180 times 3. For the disc sets, we're looking for a 4-piece Shadow Harmony and a 2-piece either Swing Jazz or the new Moonlight Lullaby. We want the energy regen. And Shadow Harmony it's just her best slot set, and it is by quite a bit, so always run Shadow Harmony. You can also run Inferno Metal, although it is not as good. On disc number 4, crit damage or attack or crit rate. On disc number 5, fire damage bonus, attack percentage or pen ratio, in that order. For disc number 6, energy regen as the main stat, non-negotiable. For the substats, just like a normal DPS, so crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage. Orphie's signature engine is of course her best one, and it is a very good engine. Energy regen, crit rate, and also 30% bypassing of defenses. Now there are some other good engines for her. Her second best in slot is Severed Innocence, her third best in slot is Heartstring Nocturne, and I'll show you on screen how the different engines affected the overall team score in Deadly Assault, so you can better grasp how much they will affect you. The best A-rank engine is Marcato Desire, and then kinda closely behind Cannon Rotor. So the team difference between her signature engine and Cannon Rotor is around 12%. So if I put that in an even more tangible form, with their signature engine, say that you get 45,000 on the Corruption Complex, expect to see 40,000 with Cannon Rotor. As for her teammates, it is kinda simple. Her very best team is a full Aftershock team together with Soldier Zero Ambi and Trigger. In an Aftershock team, it's kind of like a picnic. They all bring something for one another, like they all buff each other and they just skyrocket each other's damage potential. This is her best slot team currently, and it's gonna be even better once Zambi has gotten her buffs. Now, I've seen many people wondering about Seed in this team, and Seed does work. Seed is very strong, and Orphie benefits her a lot, like better than any other attacker, because Seed takes up a lot of field time, and Orphie like actually does stuff while Seed's animations play out. They have some synergy, they also have some D-synergy. Seed wants the active character to like use their energy, and Orphie is more usually than not our active character. And also Seed doesn't have any Aftershock attacks to increase Orphie's buff from 12 seconds. So you have to be like very finicky when you actually activate the buff and make sure you do it at the right time, because 12 seconds is not a lot. Now, also the question, can she like take Astra's place in a traditional attacker team? And she can, but to lesser extent. Expect to see lesser scores, but it does free up Astra. And kind of same problems as with Seed applies. We cannot extend the buff, so the buff uptime is very, very bad in comparison in an Aftershock team. But it can definitely work, especially a team like this against fire weak content like Red Pompeii. Yufufu can also be a goated pick together with Orphie because she has Aftershock attacks, and in a team with two attackers, like you get twice the benefit of having Yufufu, and you will basically have your ultimate up for every stun window. It is very, very good, it is very, very potent. Pales kinda in comparison to Orphie in a full Aftershock team. Can you run Orphie together with Anomaly Aliens? I mean, you can, but there isn't really much synergy at all. And now a question I've gotten a lot is, can she be the main damage dealer? Can she be the on-field character? As I've shown you with the skills, you get penalized a lot for actually being the one doing her skills. So I would say no, you can pull it off, you can clear content with it, but it's gonna be a lot less viable than an off-field Orphie played in the way she's meant to be played. And running her like that, expect to see around 30% lesser score than you would have if you had slotted in Evelyn. Alright everybody, that is my condensed Orphie guide. There is gonna be a full-length one coming out, stay tuned. There's also gonna be showcases at M0, M1, M2, etc. And of course, more stuff for all of the other agents, both new and old ones. So, one last time, let Orphie gather up her bottled heat, switch into her, maybe via defensive assist, hold down her EX special attack button, shoot laser, take the quick assist, enjoy the buff, and that is the general gameplay loop. She will carry out the laser even if we switch, so like always take that quick assist. Now, important to note that like if you start a chain attack window like that, which can be very smart to do, especially if you're running her outside of Aftershock, so every second really counts. Her EX special goes in several stages. She's charging up her laser. If she gets hit, she immediately like charges to the max level immediately. Once she's fired her max duration of it, she will also do a follow-up EX special up into the air and shoot down on the enemy. Now this is a lengthy process, and if you're not careful, you might interrupt it halfway through if you quick assist in with Orphie too quick. So what I like to do, if I start a stun window with her laser, I use the other two characters' chain attacks first, and then I use Orphie's. This will make sure that we probably don't interrupt her, and also in a stun window, feel super free to like use your EX special and using your ultimate, because they do quite a lot of damage and they take almost no field time because they both trigger quick assists, so you can switch out to another character immediately. Don't overstack on bottled heat. She will try to like accumulate more even if she's filled up, so like also make sure that there's room for more. And make sure that the buff is up when you really need it. And if you're playing her in an Aftershock team, there's never any excuse why the buff isn't up at all times. Alright everybody, this is getting cold, so let's wrap it up. And as always, thank you so much for watching, have a big hug, and until next time, Hako out.
Oh, I wish that you could just take it easy. Lay back fast the way I roll. So get off my tail or else you will get to say hello to my jolly show.